Hey everyone, we're going to be doing some art journaling today, and I'm going to be breaking down the mixed media process into easy, manageable steps so that if you want to create something similar, you can, and then hopefully I give you a little bit of inspiration so that you can try this for yourself. So I have a few supplies here. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but I want to first add some gesso to my page, and I'm thinking I want to do it long ways, just like this. So have maybe my focal point or some like florals here, and then something here. So these art journals are from Arteza. I got them off of Amazon. I don't know if they have these specific ones still, but I will link them just in case. All right, I'm gonna add some gesso just as kind of like a base. And I like to do this just to kind of get that first layer down. I know it's a little silly because we're not really doing much, but in my mind, this is kind of like that first layer to get started because we're giving the page some prep so that we can throw whatever we want at it. Just like that. All right, now, all right, I'm gonna add some tape here. This is Dina Wakley media tape. I actually got this tape so I can make my own washi tape, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And I was cleaning something out, some drawers out, and I found it the other day, and I put it close to me so that I can remember to use it. So this is going to help create a barrier so that some of those, you know, if we put a lot of color like distress spray or whatever, it's not going to seep into any of the pages on the other sides. So, and then I'm going to add some gesso to that to help it kind of blend in. There we go. All right, we're gonna set this aside. All right, I'm gonna be using this. This is from Stamperia. It does have a Christmas tree on it. It has some pine cones and stuff, but we're just going to be using the florals. So like these and these. So all of the Christmassy stuff is not going to be there. I think I want some of that text though, actually. So we're just gonna rip this just like that. And maybe get some of that text down there. All right, so now I'm going to be using some clear gesso because I don't want to cover up all of that text, right? I'm just gonna add some right there. And we're going to glue these down with the gesso. So you want to put a generous amount. And then we'll just put that here. And then this one kind of like right here. So this is going to be your first or second layer, depending on how you look at it. And your first couple layers are going to be like your flat layers. So you're not going to want to add paste at this point if you're going to want to add some stamping, which I do. So we're just gonna add that here, just like that, okay? I think I might want to add some of this. This is some washi tape from 49 and Market. All right, so now we have the rice paper underneath, and that's gonna be kind of like that under layer, if that makes sense, because we're going to again build layers. Okay, and then I'm gonna get this one. Just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna add some clear gesso to the top of this and to the back so that it adheres nicely. I know it's hard to see on camera, but you can see that text underneath the washi tape because both of them are pretty transparent. So we're going to be able to see whatever we're doing underneath. And then when you add another layer, of course, we're going to be able to see that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some white gesso to blend all of this together. So I'm going to add it to where those lines are. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to be adding some paste. But I just want to start blending that in with the background. And do a little whitewash over this as well. All right, I want to see kind of where I want my florals to go. I'm gonna rip these off of here. And I think maybe one here. And then we'll rip this one and see where this one's gonna go. Ooh, this might be a little too big. So I may cut off these pink florals here and then this pine cone. Kind of just rip that off. Let me see here. So I'm liking that, and you can see all of that text underneath that we added from the washi tape and the other collage paper. All right, I'm thinking moving this over just a tad. Just like that. But first, what we need to do is we're going to add more stamping and more texture underneath. All right, and if you're new here and you're wondering why are you doing all of that just to cover it up? Every layer adds to the end result. It's hard to explain unless you've done it yourself because it's definitely hard to see on camera, especially on video, what I'm talking about. So what each layer does is it adds texture and depth to the background, and then when you're adding all of those other layers, some of it's going to peek out from here more than others because some is darker, and it definitely adds to the end result. It's kind of hard to explain to people that haven't done mixed media before or this type of mixed media before. I would just suggest trying it for yourself and seeing exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so now that we have this stamping, I'm going to tear this just a little bit more. I'm going to add this one to the corner here, I think, and then this one here. So we added the gesso, then we added some texture and depth to the background with some rice paper, and then some washi tape, and then we're adding some gesso, right? So now we're gonna add kind of like our focal points. Let me just kind of wash this down a little bit more. I'm gonna add some more clear gesso to basically where I'm gonna add the rice paper. And we're gonna add this here, just like that. Oh, we're just a tad, okay. And we're gonna smooth that in and blend that in, adding more clear gesso over top. And then we're gonna add this one here. Just like that. All right, just blending this in, and this rice paper blends in so well with the background. So beautiful. All right, just want to make sure that it's all covered, and you don't want to overwork this because it will end up falling apart. It is paper, so. All right, we're going to dry this just a little bit so that I can add some more stamping, and then we can add our paste. All right, so we're gonna take some more of this archival ink. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but when you're doing stamping, it's really important to use a ink that is permanent. So I'm just gonna add some stamping here. And this stamp is from Tim Holtz. It's one of my favorites. So what I'm doing is I'm adding the stamping over top of the collage paper so that everything kind of blends in nicely, because we have all of that script and stamping and then, you know, all of that texture underneath. So we need to bring it to the next layer, if that makes sense. All right, And we're gonna add some here, some here, some there. And I do kind of like a roll on so that I don't get a perfect impression. So I do some stamping off if I don't want a, you know, a lot of that ink and I want it to be a little bit lighter. So we're doing like 2nd gen, 3rd gen stamping, and yeah, so I'm loving that so far. All right, so I'm gonna add some paste, and I'm using some paper paste from Finnabair. I'm not 100% sure if you can get that brand still within the paper paste, but I'm pretty positive that there are other brands, maybe like Golden or something, that has something similar. So just kind of working this because it is a little dry. I've had it for so long. All right, so I'm just going to put the paste up in the corner here. And again, it's important to do your stamping and add those types of layers first and then add your paste after, because it's hard to stamp around and over the paste. All right, then we're gonna lift that up and we're gonna go over here and just do a little bit here. And I'm going to blend this out. You'll see in just a second what I'm talking about. I'm gonna add a little bit to the bottom portion there and then just kind of up and around, just like that. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna wipe that off. And then what I do is I go in just like this, and then I'm scraping that down a little bit to kind of blend it out. And then all that's just going to be cut off. So I did cover up a lot of the florals maybe that I didn't want to, so you can go in and kind of get some of that off. All right, now we're going to dry this. All right, now what we're going to do is kind of white out all of this in the center and then kind of blend it in, or blend it all together, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it'll all make sense in a second. So I just want a little bit of that texture and those florals peeking through, because I'm pretty sure I want to stick like a butterfly in the center. So that's going to be like the main focal point. But of course we want something all around to kind of draw your eye to the center. And I don't know if you can see, but in the center here, you can still see a lot of that text and stuff in the background. So now we're gonna dry this again. All right, so I have my composition kind of laid out here. And I have these 3 butterflies. I don't know exactly where they came from, to be honest. They were just kind of in my stash, probably left over from a different project that I didn't use. I'm just going to layer them. And I think they were from some rice paper. And then I'm gonna add this. It says "Be Still." And I love this. I know this is probably not what this sticker was intended for, but I love that verse. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." So I love that. Just like that. Okay. All right, I have this scrapbook.com white brush pen, and I saw it on a live, and I was actually kind of impressed how opaque it is. So I'm gonna try it out on my page here. Don't know if it will work or not. We'll see. Maybe not so much for this, but I can see it being good. Maybe I'll just wash that out a little bit because that's a little too green for my liking. Okay, so it's good for wash, like a whitewash. All right, I'm going to stick with my tried and true Dina Wakley gloss spray in white, if I can find it. There it is. This one right here. All right, if you ever have bottles that don't want to open, heat it up a little bit. It's going to kind of make that paste, or in this case paint, a little bit more pliable. So then you can open it. I've been doing this for a long time, and every time that I show it, everybody seems like I am inventing sliced bread or something. I don't know. There we go, just like that. All right, now we're gonna add our white splatters here. And this is optional, but everyone knows I love my splatters. I can never get enough. All right, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of color around where the paste is. And I think I'm gonna go in with this color. I think this is Stormy Sky, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just gonna go in just a little bit. Just like that. And then we're gonna take the water and then kind of help that kind of move around that paste, just so the paste isn't as stark white. There we go. And then I think I might add some splatters with this color as well. And this palette is actually the shavings from my Distress watercolor pencils. And I show how to do this in my Distress watercolor pencil class. And you can still sign up for that if you're wanting to do that. I do have a Distress crayon class coming up. All right, I'm gonna add a few more splatters, and if you create something inspired by this or anything that I create, be sure to tag me on social media. I love to see it. Never gets old. Tag me as much as you want. I love being tagged. It actually keeps me going, that I'm inspiring people to get out their supplies and create. So if you're looking for even more mixed media techniques and breaking down the process into easy, manageable steps, be sure to check out this short playlist right here, and I will catch you all later. Stay creative, my friends.